Hello, hello. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to Abs and Core. Jazzy here, Program Manager with Axos at Autodesk. And it is my first Abs and Core class that I will be teaching ever today. So welcome. It's going to be a good one. Got a few core workouts for us or exercises for us today. The core meaning our pillars. So we're going to do not just our straight up ab exercises. We're going to do 3 rounds of this workout. We're going to do 40 seconds of work, 20 seconds of rest and or transition time, whatever you would like to call it. That's going to be the layout for tonight's class. So I'll go ahead and get started with the demos, showing y'all what is going to be coming up. I just knocked something over. Whoops. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to start on our hands and our knees, and we're going to do one of my personal favorite core exercises today. And that is going to be our quadruped opposites here. So we're going to be on our hands and our knees, and make sure I don't kick or hit anything. And what we're going to do is we're keep our core nice and tight. So we're going to really engage the core. So act like someone's punching you in the stomach. Want to make sure that our whole entire back is nice and flat. We're going to extend one arm, one leg. So opposite arm, opposite leg, extending through, making sure we're keeping that back nice and flat. So we don't want to curve here. We're nice and flat. That hip is pointing down, so we're not opening up either. So we're just lifting until it's level with the ground and back down. So we're just going to stay on one side here and then back down, so we can hold it for a few seconds and back down. And once we do all 40 seconds on one side, we're going to move over to the other side. So again, opposite arm, opposite leg, extending and back down, keeping that core nice and tight. Really important to make sure we work on that core so that our arms and legs can pull from it. So that's going to be our first 2 things. And then the next thing we're going to do here, we're going to do some single leg lowering. So we're going to be on our backs, I should say. And we're going to have our feet all the way up towards the ceiling, heels towards the ceiling, those legs as straight as we can. We're going to lower one leg at a time. Exhale, come back up, and then the other leg. And then exhale, come back up, making sure we're pushing that belly button into the ground to really engage that core. So that's going to be that one. And then the next thing, we're going to stay on our back here, and we're going to do dead bugs here. So we're going to have our hands right up in front, knees over the hips. We're going to extend again, opposite arm, opposite leg. Exhale, come back to center, opposite arm, opposite leg. Exhale, come back to center. So that is going to be our dead bug. And then we're going to end with some side planks here. So we're going to do all on one arm and all on the other arm. So what we're going to do is we're going to have our elbow a little bit under that shoulder here. We're going to be up on our feet. And if having our feet stacked is not comfortable or it's a little bit harder, we can go ahead and put our feet right next to each other. I might have to do that because I'm going to start sliding on this carpet in my socks. But what we're going to do here is once we're up here, we're going to have that arm straight out. And we can do a little pulse here at the bottom. So we're going to do a little nice little pulses here, working on our core. And then we'll do the other side again, 40 seconds on, 20 seconds off on that side. So that is going to be our whole workout for today. So we're going to do a quick little warm up, make sure that our core and our shoulders and our hips are all ready to go. So we're going to start off on our hands and our knees, and we're just going to do some quadruped rocking here. So what this is going to do is it's going to help us open up our hips a little bit, which is going to kind of unlock things. But we have to keep our core nice and tight and our back flat. So it's going to help us warm up our whole pillar from the shoulders, core, and our shoulders, torso, and hips. So those knees be a little bit wider than hip width here, hands below the shoulders. We're going to inhale, rock back, keeping that back nice and flat the whole time, and squeeze those glutes and come back up. So really important, if you notice my back is not doing this, we're staying nice and straight, inhaling, rocking back, and exhaling, coming up. If you cannot go all the way down without your back rounding here, your pelvis tucking under, we don't need to go down that far. So go down as far as you can, keeping that form as perfect as we can. We're just going to do a few more of these here. And let's go ahead and do one more. Awesome. Great job. All right. Next thing we're going to do here, we're just going to do a little bit of some rotation because we are going to be obviously working our core. So sometimes rotating our spine, get everything nice and warmed up. So we're just going to be on the hands and knees. We're going to do a little bit of rotation here. So we're going to reach through and then exhale, open up. Inhale, reach through. And exhale, open up. And last one here, inhale, reach through. So again, our shoulders a little bit warmed up as well. And exhaling, opening up. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and do that on the other side, and then we're gonna get right into our circuit here. So left hand reaching through, exhaling, opening up, and inhaling, reaching through, and exhaling, opening up. And last one here, inhaling, reaching through, and exhaling, opening up. All right, I think we are ready to rock and roll. So we're gonna get started again on the ground, on our hands and knees, opposite arm, opposite leg extending. We're gonna do all on one side and then all on the other. All right, 40 seconds, getting ready here. 3, 2, 1, and go. So I have my right arm and my right leg. So the thing that will help us a little bit too is by sinking into that back hip as we extend. So right now, all of my weight is in my right knee. Keeping that back nice and flat, our pelvis is tucked. This is really going to help us work on some stability as well in our shoulders. Keep breathing. Only extend that leg as far out without arching our backs here. 3, 2, 1. All right, nice job. We're going to take a little bit and we're going to do that same thing on the other side. So starting opposite arm, opposite leg. So we're going to move the left arm out and the right leg back. 3, 2, 1. All right, so right leg. Oh, I just kicked the wall. Right leg, left arm, and back down. So again, making sure both of our hips are pointed down. So go from this angle. Actually, you're not going to be able to see that. Maybe, no. We're going back. Keeping that core nice and tight. Nice job. Extending. So we don't want to have that back arch, our back staying nice and flat. So bringing our butt to the belly button. 3, 2, 1. All right. Next up, we have our single leg lowering. So we're going to go ahead and get on our backs. Getting ready with our feet in the air. 3, 2, 1. So heels to the ceiling, belly button into the ground. Lower as far as we can without that back coming off the ground. So right now, I cannot put my hands under my back. If you get down here, to go all the way down, really important to keep pressing that belly button in. I still can't do that. We don't want to release and be able to fit that hand all the way under. So that's that important part, is that we're not letting that low back come up. So if it's starting to come up, that means we've gone down too far. So just don't go down as far. 3, 2, 1. All right. Next up, we have dead bugs. So we're going to be on our backs again. All right. 3, 2, 1. So opposite arm, opposite leg extend. Same deal here, really making sure that we are pressing that low back into the ground the whole time. So the minute it starts to come up, we've gone too far. Also, really important here to pull with the core. So if we want to act to brace our core, we're going to act like someone's going to punch us in the stomach, or that we have an apple right here. We're going to crush that apple with our stomachs here. So we're exhaling as we come back to center. Great job. Almost there. Use that core. 3, 2, 1. All right. We're going to get ready for the side planks here. So our elbow is going to be inside of the shoulder. We got to protect those shoulder joints, but by doing this, we are going to be working our shoulders a little bit. So we got shoulders, hips, and torso. 3, 2, 1. So shoulders, hips, torsos are our pillar here. So getting up, our feet are either going to be stacked or next to each other, whatever you can balance and hold for the whole time. So we're aiming for is to hold this for the full 40 seconds. If doing the dips is making it harder for you to concentrate, I'm like rolling back and forth right now because I'm trying to do too many things at once. So multitasking is not a thing. It's very small pulses here. Keeping the arm up. 3, 2, 1. All right, we're gonna do that same thing on the other side. It's really important to make sure that elbow is staying in under that shoulder. If it's too far out, we're going to put too much stress on our shoulder joints. Not a good thing. 3, 2, 1. So again, either feet stacked or next to each other, whatever is going to help you hold it the longest. You want to breathe through everything, making sure, again, the elbow is a little bit further under the shoulder. We don't want it out here too far. We want it to be nice and tucked. We're going to feel that a little bit in our back, right underneath that shoulder. Nice baby pulses here. Great job. 3, 2, and 1. All right, round 1 is done. We got 2 more to go. We're going to start off with bird dogs here. Opposite arm to opposite, not two opposites, opposite arm and opposite leg. This is why I don't teach late at night if you haven't figured that out yet. 3, 2, 1. All right, so starting with our right arm, left leg, extending out, holding for a few seconds, and coming back down. So really want to sink into that back leg. All of the weight should really be in our knee that's on the ground. We don't want to be too far into the hand. So we're sinking back, kind of as if we were doing a single leg Romanian deadlift. So sink into that back hip. Keep that core nice and tight. Let our legs and arms pull from that. 3, 2, 1. All right. We got 20 seconds, and then we're going to go ahead and do the other leg. Love doing quadruped opposites. Great way to work the core and even the arms and legs a little bit. 3, 2, 1. So we got our other side here. So sink into the other hip. Let's try to lift the same arm, same leg. That would not have ended well on my end. Keeping that hip that is going back. So my right leg is going back. My right hip is still facing down. We got those headlights on the hips. We're going to blind the ground the whole time. We can have a slight squeeze in the glute, but it's just really important to make sure that we are not lifting with our back when we lift that leg up. 3, 2, 1. All right. Next up, we have our single leg lowering. One leg at a time. On our backs, belly button into the ground. 3, 2, 1. One leg coming down. Exhaling right back to center. So really making sure that we're lifting with that core. So to do that, we really want to make sure that our core is engaged. We act like someone's punching us in the stomach. We're going to apple right here. We're going to squeeze the apple with our core. So we're pushing the back into the ground, exhaling, using that core to pull the legs up versus using the leg to pull the leg up. It could be pretty hard to teach our bodies to do that. So it's just really focusing, going nice and slow. 3, 2, 1. If we're not feeling the movement where we should be, so if we're feeling any of these in our hip flexors, that means our core is not turned on. So we really got to make sure that we're really engaging the core. So flex that core like someone's going to punch you. 3, 2, 1. So belly button into the ground, opposite arm, opposite leg, only going as far out until your back starts to come off the ground. Really important to slow things down. If we are not feeling it with the intent that we should be, it means we are going way too fast. So slow it down. Use that core, keep the knees above the hips. We don't want them to come in. Want knees above the hips. Opposite arm, opposite leg. 3, 2, 1. All right. We have our side planks coming up next. So picking a side, get that elbow right underneath the shoulder. You can start with whichever side you would like. I almost said leg. 3, 2, 1. So elbow under the shoulder. We can hold, we can do little pulses, whatever helps us go through the time. Keep breathing. Really use our core here to keep us up. We're also using a little bit of those back muscles to keep ourselves up. So again, a little bit of a total body movement. Try not to fall over like I just did. We're almost there. Shoulders not over the elbow. 3, 2, 1. All right. We're gonna do that same thing on the other side. And then we got one more round to go. And then we're gonna go ahead and do a little bit of a cool down. And then we'll be ready to go. All right, we're gonna get ready here, other side. 3, 2, 1. So on our elbow, on our feet. Nice little pulses, if that's what we feel like doing. I keep sliding. There we go, shoulder over the elbow. Little pulses. Great job. We only got one more round after this. 3, 2, 1. All right. I feel like my hips were barely off the ground by the end of that. All right. We're gonna start off at the top. We got last round to go here, starting with bird dogs. If you know me, I really don't like training core, so this is a lot of core work for me. 3, 2, 1. So opposite arm, opposite leg, extending out and back down. This is the most core work I have done in a very long time, if not ever. Great job. We can even hold that at the top here for a few seconds. Back down. Really keeping that core nice and tight, keeping those hips blinding the ground, keeping that pelvis tucked. 3, 2, 1. All right, we're gonna do that same thing on the other side. Grab a sip of water. I've been talking way too much today. All right, we're gonna do that same thing on the other side. 3, 2, 1. So sinking into that hip, making sure our hips are pointing down. Really making sure we're only lifting our leg as high as we can without our low back moving. So keeping that core nice and tight, like we're crushing that apple or like someone is punching us in the stomach. Great job. We are almost there. 3, 2, 1. All right. On the ground, on our backs, we have single leg lowering. And then we have dead bugs. And then we have our side planks. And then we are good to go. 3, 2, 1. Legs in the air. Lowering here, making sure that our low back is staying pushed into the ground. Don't let that belly button leave the ground. Really engage the core, so crush that apple, or just brace yourself like someone's about to punch you in the stomach. And that's going to help us really keep that core engaged. Inhale as we lower, exhale as we come up. 3, 2, 1. That one is definitely, again, one of my favorites. Like I said, I don't train core a lot. I don't like it, but everything we're doing in here is one of my favorites, except for the side plank. Dead bugs, the next one, that's my number one. That's my top core exercise. 3, 2, 1. If you have ever taken a class with me before and we do core work, there is like a 99% chance that is going to be dead bugs. Dead bugs and planks are my go-to in classes, but especially dead bugs. Or if you were a client of mine, we will do this during pillar prep. It's my number one core exercise for sure. 3, 2, 1. All right. We have our side planks, one on each side. And then we are going to cool down with just a few stretches. We're not really going to necessarily stretch out our core, but we're just going to calm our bodies down. 3, 2, 1. I normally eat around this time. I know it's technically not dinner. It's my meal 3. I don't have breakfast, lunch, dinner. I have meal 1 through 4. Meals 1 through 4, not meal 1s. Anyways, we're going to cool down, get our bodies ready to maybe get a snack before dinner, or even just cool down and get ready for the last few meetings or work things for the rest of the day. Keep going back on this side. All right, we're almost there. Staying up. Little pulses, if that helps. 3, 2, 1. All right. We have one more thing to do. We have our other side plank. And then we are good to go with the rest of the day or evening. I feel like just by the way I talk, I'm not used to teaching this late. 3, 2, 1. Usually when I say we're gonna have a great rest of their day, it's because it's 7:30 in the morning, not 4:30 in the afternoon. Like not facing right. All right, though, there we go. I finally found the angle at the end of class. I'm slipping this out. All right. Anyone else talk to themselves anytime? No? Okay, just me. Baby pulses if we feel like it. If that's going to help us have the time go away faster. We're focusing on the breath. We're staying up. We're almost there. 3, 2, 1. And that is going to be the end of class. Nice job, y'all. Way to stay strong. Sometimes core work can get a little tough. We're going to go ahead and cool down with some quadruped rocking again to cool down, and then we'll end out with some child's pose here. So let's go ahead, instead of our normal quad rock that we did beforehand, let's go ahead and stick that leg out to the side, get that nice stretch through the inner part of our thigh here. So we're still keeping that core nice and tight. We're gonna do a few on this side, a few on the other side, so pinky toe stays on the ground. We're gonna inhale, rock back. Exhale, back to center. 2 more, inhale, rock back. Exhale, coming up. And last one, inhale, rock back. And exhale, back to center. And after that last one, we're gonna go ahead and switch over to the other side. So left leg out to the side. We're going to inhale, rock back, keeping that core nice and tight. Exhale, back to center. And inhale, rock back. Exhale, back to center. And last one, inhale, rock back. And exhaling, back to center. Great job. All right, last part of our cool down here. Let's go ahead and do some child's pose. Do a couple deep breaths here. Relax our body. We're gonna take those knees a little wider than hip width. Rock those hips back. Walk our hands out, forehead, chin, or cheek to the ground. We're just gonna do a couple deep breaths here. So you're letting that body really relax into the ground with each exhale. Let those hips get closer to the ground with each time. And let's go ahead and do one more deep breath here. And then after that last exhale, we can gently return to our hands and our knees, or you're more than welcome to stay there. But that is going to be our whole class for this afternoon. So thank you so much for joining me for this, my first abs and core class ever that I've taught. It will get better, don't worry. We do have our full schedule out tomorrow. So we got boot camp tomorrow morning. We've got boot camp in the afternoon. We've got some stretch breaks, so it's gonna be a good day. We do have our Winter Warrior registration did open yesterday. So if you head on over to SharePoint, all you have to do in order to sign up is schedule a consult with me. So that link is up and ready to go. So go ahead and schedule that consult. We'll get you ready to rock and roll, get you ready for some winter sports, or even if it's just because you don't want to shovel your snow, we'll get you ready to shovel the snow. So definitely sign up. It'll be a good time. But thank you again for joining me, and I hope y'all enjoy the rest of your evening.